What's up, my angling friends? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into what promises to be a truly fascinating day on the water. Monday, the 10th of November, 2025. Now, if you're like me, you live for those days when the elements align and the fish are just begging to bite. This day, my friends, is going to be a classic late autumn puzzle, offering both challenges and incredible rewards for those willing to understand the nuances. We've got mild, damp weather, cooling waters, and a waning gibbous moon, a combination that in my experience can ignite a feeding frenzy for some, while making others incredibly finicky. Stick with me, because I'm going to break down exactly what to expect, why the fish will be acting the way they are, and most importantly, how to put more fish in your net. Alright, let's talk tactics for some of our favorite UK species during this transitional autumn period. First up, the mighty pike. My friends, early November is absolutely prime time for these freshwater apex predators. With water temperatures steadily dropping, pike are actively feeding up for winter. You'll want to find them around drop-offs where shallower water quickly gives way to deeper troughs, and along the edges of weed beds that are starting to die back. Why there? Because that's where their food, the baitfish, will be seeking refuge and finding some warmth. For tackle, a medium to heavy spinning rod is your best bet. Try medium to large lures like jerkbaits or spinnerbaits, worked at a moderate, erratic pace. If deadbaiting is more your style, a sea deadbait like mackerel or sardine, or a freshwater roach ledgered near those drop-offs will be irresistible. Don't be shy with bait size. These fish are looking to pack on weight for winter. Next, let's focus on the ever-popular perch. These striped warriors are fantastic targets right now. With water temperatures trending downwards, you'll find them starting to shoal up in deeper sections of larger lakes and slow-moving rivers. Look for them around submerged structures like old sunken trees, bridge pillars, or even deeper marginal reed beds. Again, it's all about finding those baitfish concentrations and ambush points. A light to medium spinning rod with small to medium lures, such as soft plastics on a jig head or small crankbaits, worked slowly along the bottom, can be incredibly effective. Don't be afraid to try some natural baits too. A worm presented on a float rig or a light ledger will often entice a bite from a big perch. Remember, slow and steady wins the race when the water cools. And what about our general coarse fish like roach? With the cooling water and unsettled weather, these guys will be shoaling tightly and seeking deeper, more stable thermal layers. You'll want to target slightly deeper areas of canals, lakes, and slower-moving rivers. Look for natural depressions, the far banks of slow glides, or areas with overhead cover. For tackle, a fine float fishing setup or a light feeder rig will be ideal. Bait choice is crucial. Small, natural offerings like maggots, casters, or segments of worm, presented subtly, will be key. Consider pre-baiting a small spot with a handful of loose feed to draw them in, but remember, less is often more when the fish are wary. Now let's break down the conditions and understand why the fish will be behaving the way they are. Weather-wise, for Monday, the 10th of November, 2025, we're looking at a generally mild but damp picture across Great Britain. In areas like Dumfries and Galloway, expect light rain throughout the day and night, with temperatures hovering between 5 and 7 degrees Celsius. Further south in Lancashire, it will be slightly milder, with light rain expected and temperatures between 7 and 11 degrees Celsius. Overall, England is looking at average temperatures around 10 to 12 degrees Celsius during the day, with minimal precipitation, around 0.01 inches of rain. The atmospheric pressure is likely to be low and unsettled, with an increase in windy conditions, particularly along coastal areas, which can contribute to a chillier feel. This combination of mild air temperatures but unsettled, damp conditions suggests fish might seek deeper, more stable water, or hug close to cover to escape any turbulence. Speaking of water, our inland lakes and rivers will be experiencing a steady cooling trend, likely hovering between 6 and 10 degrees Celsius. Coastal sea temperatures will be a bit warmer, typically ranging from 9 to 14 degrees Celsius. This cooling trend, my friends, is key. It triggers a pre-winter feeding response in many species as they try to bulk up before the coldest months. While some fish will move deeper to find more stable temperatures, predators will be actively hunting. However, this same cooling trend slows down the metabolism of many coarse fish, making them less active and prone to shoal in deeper, more stable thermal layers. And the moon, my friends? On the 10th of November 2025, we have a waning gibbous moon. Its illumination will be around 60 to 70% and getting smaller. This phase is about 4 days after the full moon, often called the beaver moon. Many anglers believe a strong moon phase like this can stimulate fish activity. However, a bright moon can sometimes make nocturnal feeding more active, potentially reducing daytime bites for some species. The increased gravitational pull, though, can also stimulate fish movement and feeding activity, especially for larger predators. Considering these conditions, my friends, I'm giving the overall fishing forecast for Monday, the 10th of November 2025, a capricious to good rating, with pockets of excellent for those targeting predators effectively. The cooling water and unsettled low-pressure weather mean fish will be active, but potentially finicky. Predatory species like pike and larger perch should be feeding well as they prepare for winter. Coarse fish like roach and bream will be shoaling tightly and seeking deeper, warmer water. Patience, careful bait presentation, and adapting to the conditions will be your greatest assets. Look for those brief windows of increased activity, especially during lulls in the rain or slight pressure changes. So there you have it, my fellow anglers. Get out there, enjoy the challenge, and may your lines be tight. No scales, no tails. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another forecast. And tell me in the comments below, what are your plans for fishing this November and what species are you hoping to tempt?